Chauncey Billups lineups have been in question for a little while. Like from people that are watching basketball games where he just won't play people for a whole half that he's supposed to play. You take out the star in a close game. Like, people have been saying this about him.
Man, my boy Chauncey Billups, the former Detroit Piston champion of the world, because I'm from Detroit, y'all know I had to shout that out. He got caught up on this little gambling situation. Terry Rozier as well. Remember, they got Gilbert Arenas recently. They saying these guys got mob ties. Let's see what Joe Budden had to say about this. You better like the video. You better subscribe. Let's get it.
Several NBA players were arrested. The FBI has made it very clear they've launched a gambling investigation, an illegal gambling investigation into several NBA players. Chauncey Billups, coach and former Hall of Fame player, was arrested. Terry Rozier was arrested. Damon Jones was arrested. And a whole bunch of other people not in the NBA or connected were also arrested in regards to two separate cases. One was about an illegal poker game, or a ring of illegal poker games, where people were being brought, or NBA players were alleged to be brought in as the kind of the face of this, and then people were basically tricked and robbed of their money. Not literally robbed, but tricked through
cheating.
Yeah. But cheating.
Glasses,
They were cheating.
eyewear, yeah.
Exactly. Eyewear, card counters that didn't work, etc. And then there's the second piece, which is definitely more dangerous to the league, which is the allegation that players are revealing information or otherwise being involved in prop bet scams. So releasing information that affects betting, checking themselves out of games, faking injuries, all these things that will affect the gambling lines, right? For prop bets in particular. So not like who wins or loses, but the over/under on certain kinds of gambling. So that's the scandal. And it's rocking the sports world right now for a lot of reasons.
Can I ask you a question? So the first part, when you said they use them as the face, so how I take that is they're using a famous NBA player to say, hey, come play with us, and you can play with, and that's like that, and then they cheat them out the money.
LeBron and
that
them
is
be
genius.
Now I won't say nobody's name, but if you gonna market it, you'll say like somebody popular, like yo, such and such is gonna be there, or this person's they be all gambling in the spot, so that's gonna bring common motherfuckers that want to be around a celebrity.
The report said centered around retired NBA players.
Yes.
So this is not just like hey, let's move on into Chauncey's game. Like, there are a few retired players said to be involved in this.
Right. And it's important to note because the mafia, organized crime, has been implicated in this as well.
Yes, they have.
Gambino family, Lucchese family, some other families have been publicly named by the FBI. And so the idea is that the games are connected to the mafia. I think that's important to note because I see a lot of black faces on camera.
I'm about to say.
And I ain't seen a mob member.
Not one.
Yeah, so that's another piece of this. And for the Chauncey thing, there's some...
You're going over too much shit that we want to talk about.
Okay.
Some of this shit is important. Bring out fucking Ricky Donatolione. Come on. Come on. Hey, y'all saying it's mafia related? I believe you.
I want to see Johnny.
Bring him out.
Yeah, I want to see Johnny.
Bring out Tommy Noonan, whatever his name is. Bring them all out.
I love how y'all hear mafia and all go Italian.
The way they put them on the news would be different anyway. They're going to use the stars first.
Not named Lucchese.
I know.
Not named Gambino.
You street the good fellas.
This thing of ours.
Yeah. And if you know the history of gambling.
Yeah, that's their thing.
That's their lane. They stepped in their lane then.
Yeah, so don't just come showing me the black faces.
The Fall Guys.
I think this is one of a few things could be true. Yes, some black faces involved. And I want to see them niggas too.
It's pretty ironic that they used NBA players to lure in the marks, and the FBI is also using the NBA players to bring all the awareness to it.
And for me, that ties into somehow this happening on opening day. Or
for sure.
Opening week.
I don't think that this was
it's not coordinated.
It's coordinated.
You didn't just find out about Chauncey and Damon Jones.
2-year investigation.
Well, I said they've been investigating for a minute. They've been announced it.
Okay, cool. But Chauncey, y'all allowed Chauncey Billups, all parties involved allowed Chauncey Billups to coach opening night.
Sure.
And y'all allowed Terry Rozier, who the NBA had already investigated and cleared, to be at Game 1 in Orlando. So I start there. I mean, I start there. I'm not saying that these brothers are not guilty of what they're accused of, I don't know. But doing that opening week,
and these people are federally. This is a federal case, right?
Yeah. So, this is the FBI probe.
Yeah.
And this gets complicated because I don't doubt that they've done some of the things they're alleged to do. The question is whether those things are illegal or not. So, for example, if I, as an NBA coach, say to my friend, "Yo, I'm resting Dame Lillard today. Don't tell nobody," and then they tell somebody, and it gets to the gambler, or I tell the gambler, but I'm not telling them for any monetary purpose. It might violate the league rule, but that's not illegal.
Bigger than that, you'll know like an hour before game time that Dame ain't gonna play.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's just
no, but
in that example you gave, it's a time thing.
Yes.
Because if I know 5 hours before that Dame not gonna play, then I could put
which is what he's alleged to have done.
I could put some shit in
He's
motion.
alleged to have done it because the league has tightened its reporting because of gambling, because of legal gambling.
Sure.
They've tightened their injury reporting. You can't hold it out to the end of the day. You never were supposed to, but as a form of gamesmanship, sometimes you wouldn't let the other team know that you're resting your guy or that you're not resting your guy. But now the league is like, no, every hour or every few hours, we're checking in to make sure that you report when somebody's injured to prevent people from putting a thumb on the scale on the betting thing. So if you're secretly telling somebody something for that purpose, same thing with the poker games. You know again, the league don't really care about poker.
Dog, these cases were flagged by the gambling association.
They flagged them.
But it
wasn't.
It was them saying, "Hey,
there's unusual activity
this is
here.
fishy.
Yes,
we have loads of money in the final hour coming in on a nondescript Miami Heat game.
Yeah. Right.
This is unusual activity. Someone could lose their job if this is not reported."
And it was a case where in the Miami Heat case where one guy had put in like 400 bets on a player. Like that's unusual.
And a random player.
Yes,
Rozier,
it's unusual. And it's going
let me read this. Rozier
flag.
is accused of manipulating his stats and performance to benefit illegal gamblers when he was a member of the Charlotte Hornets during a March 23rd, 2023 game against the New Orleans Pelicans. Charlotte traded Rozier to the Heat in January 2024. Prior to the March 23rd game, a flurry of bets from professional gamblers were placed on the under on Rozier's points, rebounds, and assists. Sports books flagged the suspicious activity and halted prop bets on Rozier's performance in the game. So this was a big deal.
It was.
Yeah.
And that's what caught people's eye to even make it a thing. That's what made them start investigating.
That was a couple of years ago.
Rozier is alleged to have told the gamblers he'd exit the March 23rd game early. In turn, they placed around $200,000 on his under totals. They would later split the winnings with the Hornets guard. Rozier, who averaged 35.3 minutes per game and 21.1 points per game that season, exited the game after 10 minutes citing a foot injury.
Oh, shit.
His stats that game were 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists.
Damn, and they sloppy with that shit.
And that's it. Per Complex Sports, the insider trading scandal of the NBA.
These two cases overlap too, because some people are wondering why the poker and the basketball comes out at the same time. There are a few theories about it, but talking to people behind the scenes, the dominant theory from law enforcement is, and I think they have some evidence of this, is that you get jammed up on one thing, right? Say you go and play poker and you get burnt. And now you owe a whole lot of money to them people. What they can say is, here's how you get it back.
You want to make it up?
Play balls.
Make them phone calls.
Got you.
You're an active player or a former player. Call the coach and find out who's playing or not.
And who wouldn't be more willing than a motherfucker that got burnt?
Exactly. Exactly.
Because my thing, I didn't understand. That's a good point. Because I didn't understand why even the poker games held that much weight.
Yeah,
my niggas have underground poker games every fucking where around the nation.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why?
But many of them are illegal.
Almost all of them. But the issue is these aren't just
federal investigations that raise this many. You know
here's why though. It's two things. One is that these are directly tied to crime families, and so they're investigating the mafia, and then investigating the mafia, they found out about these things. And oh, wait a minute. Allegedly, Chauncey Billups is there. Wait, allegedly, what's Chauncey Billups' relationship to this? And so then they start. It was
pieces together.
Backwards from the mafia this way.
Do y'all think it can go violent? Like they'll start dropping witnesses and shit?
No, they beat some people up. They said the FBI put some hands. Not the FBI, the mob family. when they wasn't getting paid back their money.
That was one of the big things was that there was people having pressure applied on them to stay involved with the poker games as well, to keep luring people in. I think the NBA did the best that they could in damage control yesterday. I watched people hit the airwaves and say things like, "This is not a big scandal for the crisis. This is not going to rock." Brian Windhorst said, "This is not going to rock the foundation of the NBA." I think he's either lying or wrong. But either way, that's not true. This is a big deal. This is going to change how people understand. You can't have gambling if people don't have faith in the system. And this is going to shake people's faith in the system. People already, after the Donaghy scandal years ago with the referee, had questions. Now these raise more questions, you know what I mean, about players. Because it's not just about prop bets. If I know that my player on my team is willing to fake an injury to leave for whatever reason, that makes me lose faith in the game itself.
Right.
So the league is going to have to crack down, in my opinion. I have a few thoughts on it, but I think at the very least they're going to have to reimagine what it means for players to be involved in gambling. I think gambling is fine. I think fans should be able to bet on games. I think retired people should be able to bet on games. But as an active player, I don't know if you should be involved with it at all. And there's another thing that the NBA has to be responsible for. And this might sound, y'all might disagree on this. But the culture of tanking, 2 years ago, they tanked for Wemby. A lot of teams were tanking to get Victor Wembanyama. But here's the problem. If you normalize a culture where teams are intentionally not doing all they can to win, it becomes a slippery slope between me saying, I'm going to rest my 3 best players for the last 5 games so that I can get 3 more lottery balls, than saying that I'm playing it on a prop bet scheme. I mean, it's a really slippery slope.
Same thing. That's what I'm saying. This is Adam Silver. I agree with what you're saying, too. This is Adam Silver's first real crisis to me.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a big one. This is the first. It's a huge one.
And it was bound to happen with the proliferation of fucking legal gambling. Like,
that's the thing. That's really just what it is. Chauncey Billups lineups have been in question for a little while, from people that are watching basketball games, where he just won't play people for a whole half that he's supposed to play. You take out the star in a close game. Like, people have been saying this about him. Yeah. So there's some other people that shall remain nameless that looking at them, just their reactions on the bench.
Yeah, we saw.
It's shit going on. So it's not like you could do a good job of keeping this covert anyway, to Mark's point.
Bro, they showed
cats out the bag.
They showed the game with Rozier.
Them Rozier lowlights was hilarious, though.
Bruh, it wasn't even funny.
See, but my question is this, and this is just the part that I'm having trouble with. We talking about people that make really great money,
and that's the hard part for me. If they was making $2 or $3 or $4 million, and the owners were making $1 zillion, right?
Yeah.
I would be like, yo, I ain't mad, bro. Some of these motherfuckers make $30 and $40 million, bro.
All right. I have an opportunity here. I tell my peoples, yo, put whatever you got on the under. Cool, I'm coming out the game. Nobody knows it. You're going to get great odds. It might not even be for me. I'm looking out for y'all.
That's often that's one of the allegations, is that they're doing it for the homies.
Yo, the part we mentioned is that gambling is an addiction.
That's what it is.
That's the other piece of it.
But these aren't the gamblers.
We're missing that people are addicted to this. So no matter how much money you have, you're going to
I think that's a factor with some of this stuff, especially the Chauncey stuff. I don't think is necessarily
attached to.
What if he borrowed money from the mob for whatever reason and he has to pay them back?
Or he just lost it in poker games. Again, we don't know this part. Based on information we know, I just want to remind the audience. We do know that the feds are alleging that the poker games and his NBA activities are connected. Yeah. So that is a logical inference. There's something happened in one of them things that made him more susceptible to the other thing.
Mm-hmm. Everybody make bail the same day? Like go in and come out?
Yeah, Billups and Scary Terry made bail.
All right, look, let's get this out the way. I would like to see some of these mafia families that could be involved. I remember Mark named a few of them. But look, I understand that the NBA players are the big stars involved in these situations, so you want to put their face out there to get your clicks and views. But, my YouTube channel is different than a real news station or news company. I expect them to do their due diligence and show us some of these mafia people who are involved. Don't make it just seem like it's these black NBA players, all right? So let's get that out the way, and let's get straight to the cheating, okay? Joe Budden mentioned it. He said people have looked at Chauncey Billups lineups and said, hold on. Why is he taking out, a superstar right now at this moment? What's going on here? I'm going to tell y'all something. Some people on the street told me that back in the day, they felt like Chauncey Billups would be throwing games. Now, of course, Chauncey Billups is decorated in Detroit. He took us to a championship. Did put up many stats in the playoffs. But my whole point is, for years, people have watched these sports leagues and been gambling and, putting out your parlays and all that other stuff, and you felt like it was some cheating going on. That's my point. For years, everybody in the gambling community, you've looked at games and said, that don't look right there. All of a sudden, bro got to sit down in the fourth quarter. All of a sudden, bro got to sit down in the fourth quarter so he can't get that extra rebound or that extra point. All of a sudden, bro not playing enough minutes so he can achieve those stats so you can win your parlay. We've always said certain shit when it comes to gambling look funny and it look fishy. So while I do feel bad for my boy Chauncey, because I know how he represented the Pistons, but at the end of the day, maybe we do need to look into some of these practices when it comes to sports gambling. And the fact that the NBA has attached itself to all of these gambling companies, that might make the average fan say, hold on, I might think something is going on. And I think Mark brought it up. This whole situation is making people lose faith in the sanctity of gambling. Is this shit fair? You had DJ Academic saying, I think anybody who lost a parlay to any of these people involved, you should sue. I know myself, I was known to do a few parlays from time to time, okay? I've put out a few in the beginning of this season, and you know what I noticed? Shit looking real clean right now. Dudes putting up them numbers. That boy Luka Doncic, you can take him for 30. You can take all the superstars for the points you think they gonna get, and they knocking them down. So right now, I'm not gonna tell anybody to gamble. I'm just saying right now, it seems like the superstars are performing how they usually would, so you can make a couple of dollars on the parlays. It's funny how shit is looking on the up and up right now when everybody done went to jail. I could pull out my phone. I could show you a few. So everybody, Giannis gonna get them 12, 14 rebounds now, right? That's what I've noticed. I want to know what y'all think in the comments. And once again, one more time, this is not me telling anybody to gamble. You shouldn't gamble. It's a bad habit to have. But that brings me into, I like how Queen's Flip talked about the gambling addicts that we don't never really talk about. Yeah, maybe Chauncey is a gambling addict. Maybe Terry Rozier is a gambling addict. Okay, I hear these people talking about, well, they might have been doing favors for the homies so the homies could come up. So the homies could bet and make a couple of dollars. That's cool, but that's still dumb if you making all of that money. Give bro some money out of your own pocket, instead of getting yourself caught up in this BS. But we never think about the rich people who might be addicted to gambling. For years, people have said that Floyd Mayweather has lost hundreds of millions of dollars from gambling. But see, we would never know because every time he fought, he was getting these big $150 million checks. So it's easy to hide it when he's at the Gucci store and he got 15 people carrying bags for him. But we've all talked about how we feel like Floyd might have lost a whole bunch of his fortune from gambling. And Floyd ain't the only one. So some of these celebrities, they are addicted to gambling. They're bored. They're rich. They done smashed all the chicks, drove all the cars, been all around the world, been to every celebrity orgy. Diddy's locked up, so it's no more Diddy parties. They looking for a thrill. They looking for something to, get their rocks together. Knock their rocks off, whatever. What's that saying? I'm messing it up because I'm passionate right now. But y'all know what I'm saying. And that thrill seeking can be an addiction too. And that's a part of gambling. So yes, the amount of money that these guys make, don't just rule it out that they could have a gambling addiction. And that's something for us to be very aware of as well. And the last thing I'll say is there's a discussion about what blame the NBA should be taking on from this situation. Adam Silver, whoever. I saw Rob Parker the other day say it was a time that people would say there would never be a sports team in Las Vegas. Now, in 2025, that's not the case. They got the WNBA team. There's Las Vegas sports teams now. But people thought that these leagues would never associate with Las Vegas and the casinos and gambling. But now, every time you turn on your TV or your phone, it's a gambling sponsorship for either your favorite athlete or these teams or these leagues. DraftKings, FanDuel, all the different names. So the NBA is saying, on one hand, yeah, gamble. But then on the other hand, they're saying, but we don't want these specific people to gamble. But some people feel like it can go hand in hand. If you allow all of this gambling to be involved in the leagues, you should expect ish like this to happen. So y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.